Dang, this thing is way too big. Okay, what up, guys? It's your boy, Bendjy, King Bendjy Warrior, and we are going to be reacting to uh, Nightmares by Mr. What was his name again? Mr. Nightmare. Horror stories.
I'm 22 years old, fresh out of college, and I recently got a job at my old high school as a sort of computer intern in the school basement. The basement of the school is very messy and disorganized, but there is a small 3-person office that's actually very nice down there. It has 3 nice big desks, 2 mini fridges, a flat screen TV mounted on the wall, and oh so satisfying air conditioning, a luxury the students and teachers cannot enjoy in the school. And of course all the school servers and other computery stuff. I got the job because 3 of my old computer teachers flat out adored me. I could actually consider them as real friends, not just teacher figures, so they all helped tremendously in landing me this job. It's been great, until something that happened a few weeks ago. My 2 co-workers that shared the office with me, Dave and Gary, weren't in the office at the time. They were upstairs working on papers or whatever. I was eating my sandwich during my lunch break when I got a phone call from one of the women in the front office telling me the school was on lockdown and that somebody, possibly armed, had entered the school. There wasn't much that I could do other than turn off the lights because, surprisingly, as nice as this little office was, it didn't have an actual door to it, just a big opening, and the door to the whole basement didn't even have a working lock. For my own safety, I did turn off all the lights in the office and my computer screen. I kept my phone on the desk, texting both Gary and Dave, but they wouldn't respond. I sat down there in the dark, playing games on my phone for like 20 minutes.
When you in danger, and then when you're trying to call somebody, they're like, oh, come on, please pick up, please pick up, please pick up. They're never going to pick up. It's going to take them about almost an hour for them to pick up.
It's waiting for the call from up front to tell me to resume working. I had no idea what was happening. I couldn't hear what was going on upstairs from down here. But I was not allowed to make any calls until I was informed that the lockdown was over. Then the noisy basement door opened. As the creaking echoed across the basement and into my office, I sat up from my seat, wondering if I should call out Gary or Dave. I was eager to get some info from them.
I don't know what I just said.
Someone then came running down the stairs, and their footsteps were approaching my office. I pushed away my chair and crawled under my desk.
Why would you push away the chair?
Somebody entered the office, but did not turn on the lights. There was just silence. I can't even describe the fear I was experiencing.
I would be scared
too. If I made one
sudden
noise, I'd be a dead man. Suddenly, my phone dinged as I got a text message. I felt my entire world shrivel up and die at that one moment as I clenched my teeth in fear. Footsteps suddenly moved closer to me until I finally dove out from under the desk in capitulation, begging whoever it was not to kill me. And just then, someone grabbed my arm and pulled me up. It was some guy in a red plaid button-up, jeans, and a reddish-black cap. He told me, "It's okay, I'm just down here hiding with you." "What's going on up there?" I whispered to him. He kind of ignored my question and asked me if there's an exit down here. I told him, "Yeah, around that way."
Oh my God.
Before he could do anything else, I asked him, "Who are you?" There was a brief moment of silence before he started explaining he was coming in to pick up his son when a teacher told him to hide. After his explanation, I checked my phone and saw the text I received was from Dave. It said, "Dude, this is fucking crazy. Some guy with a gun shot Mr. Buckley. He's wearing a red shirt and a hat. Whatever you do, don't come upstairs." I was about to reread that text out loud to the man until I realized. I looked up and felt my stomach sink. The man seemed to catch on to my suspicious stare. Panicking, all I could think to do was to run for the upstairs. A gunshot echoed through the basement, and I could hear the bullet ricochet off something metal in the darkness. But thank God the bullet missed me, and I made it upstairs. Fortunately, police were waiting at all exits, including the basement exit, and called the band a second to open the door. More good news. Our teacher, Mr. Buckley, survived the gunshot.
Ooh, that's good.
It was later determined that the man and Mr. Buckley had some beef for whatever reason, but that was never revealed. All we know is that Mr. Buckley couldn't have done anything that would have warranted this kind of reaction. And I know that the sound of that gunshot will forever echo in my mind.
That gave me a heart attack. If you guys want to watch another one, we'll watch another one right now. This is gonna be scary story about a field trip, or field trips.
Hannah, what I'm about to tell you next is very important. It is imperative that you pay attention. If at any point you try to contact the police or end this live stream, I will kill your sister.
Never mind all that. Okay.
Back in high school, I took a mysteries and mythology type class, or something like that. I don't remember the name of the class.
I know.
It basically just had to do with real life mysteries and creepy shit. I was into that kind of stuff. I was taking the class with a good friend, who I'll call Ben for this story.
Ben.
The teacher of the class took us on a field trip to a nearby abandoned village with an unknown past. The village was built in the early 1900s, but seems as though it had been quickly abandoned shortly after it was built. The bus ride there was about 20 minutes. All of us were glued to the bus.
Wait a minute. First of all, your teacher is dumb. Second of all, why? Why would you go in a place where there's freaking an abandoned freaking village? And then you guys would wanna, I'm gonna pretend I'm the teacher. Okay, class, settle down. We will be going on a field trip to an abandoned place. And we will be studying all the geographics of something that been a long time ago. In the 1900s, anything you can think of. And one thing I have to say, I am the dumbest teacher ever for taking these kids to abandon never mind.
Windows as we pulled up some sketchy-looking, decrepit road cutting through dense forest.
Yeah, you shock.
The road eventually led to
the biggest eyes ever.
We were there. We stepped out onto the road, which had grass growing through the cracks. The grass surrounding was almost knee-high.
Because it's high.
Then there were the buildings.
It's been abandoned. It's old.
The tall, archaic brick buildings with the boarded-up windows all gave off such chilling vibes. The teacher lined all 20 of us up, counted heads, and then began leading the way. The point of this little field trip was to use the so-called skills we learned in class to see if we could put anything together about why the village may have been abandoned so long ago. Some of the buildings had holes in the walls to serve as entryways. There were even holes in the ground next to some of the buildings, seemingly dug to get into the basements of some of the buildings, which seemed creepy.
I'm already getting a heart attack.
There was one building, though. It stood taller than any of the others. It just intrigued me the most.
Why would it intrigue you?
While the teacher was leading the group towards the village church, Ben and I decided to sneak off on our own to look for anything interesting.
The biggest building,
when we
taller
walked
than
off in the
any other
direction of the
building.
tallest building, we saw a hole in the ground. It was dug by the back door of the building, which had been sealed off. In the hole was a ladder, which led down to the concrete floor below.
If I was there,
we both looked at each other and knew we had to do it.
Don't be racist, but I would
Ben
run
climbed down first,
for my life.
Luckily,
I don't care
this was
what
just around the
happened.
time
I'm gonna
Apple
run.
started putting flashlights on their phones, so we had a source of light. It was creepy down there.
2000.
There were a couple of beer bottles, one graffiti tag on the wall, and dusty wooden planks everywhere. There was a wooden stairway which led up to complete darkness, since all windows and doors had been sealed shut from above. We had already gone as far as to enter the building, so we figured we'd go up the stairs too. I went first, and with each step, the creakiness of the 100-year-old wood made me feel as if I was going to fall through each and every step.
Why would you do
Ben
that?
followed suit.
You dummy.
This floor of the building was very tight. It seemed like there were many openings going off into different, smaller rooms. It was so dark in there, you would never even guess it was daytime.
That second one.
Ben and I were honestly starting to get creeped out in there, and agreed to go back outside.
Poor people might be living in
But just then, there was a noise in one of the tiny rooms,
you don't know what they
like a big rock hitting the concrete floor. A normal instinct would be to run, but Ben and I froze, locked eyes for a moment, then both tiptoed over to the opening of the room.
If I heard something, I would run.
We shined the lights into the room and ran. We ran back down the stairs and then up the rusty ladder back outside. We caught up to the group out of breath. We didn't say anything, though, to avoid getting in trouble. One of our classmates asked us what was wrong. We told him we snuck into one of the buildings. And in one of the rooms, when we shined the light into it, we saw 3 guys standing maybe 10 feet away from the doorway, facing Ben.
You don't know what he done. He murking. The green suit on. He murking. He look thirsty. And you look like you haven't slept in years, like for 2 years. And him, he look like Slenderman, but green face. You guys haven't even taken a shower for 2 years. Dang. Y'all never been asleep? Damn. What is this dude holding? I bet he been like that for years. Years.
And I in a weird formation, as if they were waiting for us.
They were thirsty.
As we continued following the group, we paid extra attention to the tall building we entered from the distance.
How'd you pay attention?
And before leaving, we saw a person's face at one of the higher level windows that had not been boarded up.
Once you go black, you never
We
go.
never told the teacher in fear of getting in trouble. We didn't know what to think. Were those just homeless people living in there? Were they gang members in hiding?
Gang members?
Ben freaks me out with his theory. He says they were ghosts of the people who once lived in the town. Still, the way the 3 guys were just hauntingly standing there so calmly, staring at us the moment we peeked our heads through that doorway, I still can't get that image out of my head. I may go back to that village one day,
then you a
just
dummy.
to prove Ben's idea wrong.
That's a mini order. You dummy. Why would you do that? I don't understand why. Why would you do that? Which means never mind. He's dumber than a sheep for going back there. Once you go black, you never go back. And my toe's frozen. My toe's frozen. I feel like I can't move anymore. And signing off for today. Hope you guys have a good day. And see y'all the next time we meet. And one more thing. You better smash that like button or I'm coming for you. You don't know what I'm going to do. You don't know what I'm going to do. And plus, there's been these creepy things happening to people, but no, this ain't happening to me. Signing off.